And welcome back to the Constitutionals Podcast. I'm your host, Chad White. If you didn't know, this is the premier podcast for the website, cpluscomedy.com. Like I just said, it's a website. Go there. All right, so this is a very late episode. Not very late, it's probably like a couple of days. And you can also probably hear my television playing in the background. Also, I have not addressed the camera yet. This is episode 184 of the Constitutionals Podcast. I believe it is 184. I refuse to check. Definitely. I can definitely hear the TV in the background. Listen, this isn't going to be a long one. You know what? I'll even say it up front. Didn't record it. Forgot to. Not forgot to. I knew what I was going to do, but I just didn't record this part. What you're going to experience is the first... hey, Google. Launch Netflix on Xbox One. Okay, just something to get this to get the TV to turn off or to turn a different thing. So what you're gonna get for the first 15 minutes of this, and God, I don't even know if this is gonna last 15 minutes of whatever I have to say is, it will be a traditional me talking into the microphone, and then there you go. Netflix finally launched an Xbox. The last I think 40 minutes of this is going to be my interview with the Spanish Aquí Presents. Now, did I have to do the accent? I did not. Why did I do the accent? Because it's a little bit racist. I'm sorry. I do apologize. Spanish Aquí Presents, if you don't know, is a comedy group. And I refrained from saying troupe. An improv group based in Los Angeles. They host a live show featuring a bunch of acts from the Latinx community. Comedy, singing, all that. They interview Latinx actors. And like Natalie Morales. And they're all very funny actors and comedians themselves. Now, I had chances, and they have a podcast. I forgot to get to that part. They have a they have a podcast version of the live show, which is just them talking to people that they like on their podcast. So it's very fun, very funny. You learn something. They're all great people. Not a limit in the bunch. Now, I had a chance to interview them. If you don't know, if you don't subscribe to the YouTube channel for some reason, I don't know why you subscribe to this, but not the YouTube channel. You can check it out. Check out the full interview. But if for some reason you have not watched that interview, or even a part of it, I prefer you watch the whole thing, but even part of it, video version people watching the video of this will get, if you don't have 40 minutes to kill, which if you're watching my videos, you got some time to kill, then the video version people will get a nice 15-minute chunk that I had to cut down. Oh, Jesus. I'm sorry. I'm still having trouble placing this microphone because the desk had to move over because of this new bookcase. And it keeps falling by itself. But the video version people get to see me, A, get to see this microphone fall at least twice now. And then B, get to see a short 15-minute version I had to cut for Instagram because Instagram cannot take videos over 15 minutes. But I routinely see people on there with like 50-minute videos, so it doesn't make sense to me. Maybe those are business accounts. Well, C Plus Comedy is a business account over there on Instagram. So anyway, so here we are. What is there to talk about? Well, I was going to record this on Friday, and I didn't. When you have like 5 days off in a row, you just don't do anything. You like you don't even plan to pretend to be like you're going to do something. I didn't do anything. I spent so much money on Black Friday. And most of all of it has arrived. Last year I got an Instant Pot, the 2013 model, I believe. And it's one of the best. It's actually sitting right here next to me because I got a new one. I got the newest version of that model that came out last year. And it was on sale for cheaper than I bought that Instant Pot from last year. And, or was it? No, actually, it really doesn't matter. Either the people under me or the woman next to me just love slamming their door. And and it's just a cacophony of things I can hear and feel under my feet and on my wall. I bought Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, which I was playing before this. $15. Oh, God, I forgot to take out the trash. Oh, man, the trash people just rolled by, I think. And I can just walk it down. I have legs. Let's see. It's a great game. It takes you through the entire Dragon Ball Z saga, and then there's DLC, downloadable content, that takes you through the first two seasons, I guess, of Dragon Ball Super, or the first two new movies that came out. Not Brawly, but the first two new movies, like Resurrection F, which stands for Frieza, and Dragon Ball Z Gods, I believe. I don't know. I just bought the disc. I didn't buy the season pass. It's everything in a Dragon Ball game I wanted. I mean, it's an RPG and it's a fighting game. The thing is, there's some things I would rather have not have been. It's not a fully open world game. There's a world map and you have to travel to hub worlds and everything, but that's fine. And loading times are still suspiciously long, which is very strange for me. But I'm enjoying the game. I also bought Fire Emblem Three Houses on the Nintendo Switch. And I wanted to play that game ever since it came out. And I started it last night. I got through one cutscene and I fell asleep. This is at midnight, so it was probably my fault for starting that late. What else? Did I buy any other games? I don't think I did. I bought some 4K HD movies. I don't have a 4K player yet, but they did come with Blu-rays. 1917 and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, because they were cheap. And I bought a Bluetooth speaker that I used for a hike yesterday, which was great. I didn't turn it. I didn't blast it. I just had it at a nice low volume to where even if people passed, they still couldn't hear it. And that's about it. What else is going on in my life? Thanksgiving, fine. It was all right. Made stuff by myself. Hung out with my cat. I think she has been my cat has been dealing with some respiratory cat flu, common cold stuff. And been giving her medicine or what she'll take, And she seems to be getting a little bit healthier. I just saw a light go on my balcony. And no one can reach my balcony but me, so I'm very curious as to what that is. She seems to be doing fine. She's still sneezing a little bit. I bought an Xbox Series X controller because it still works on Xbox One, and eventually it'll work on iPad, so I can play a game on here, and Android, so I can not play a game on my phone. What else is going on? Oh, so anyway, the cat seems to be doing better. She has not vomited, since last week, so knock on wood for that. And her eye, she had like a little eye thing, so I had to keep putting medicine in her eye, which was not fun doing in the morning because she would run away from me. And one day she hissed at me, so I said, we're not going to do this for a day. And she didn't like the ear medicine I have to give her. But yeah, and she's been taking her probiotics because I had to put that in the food, and she'll eat it. That's good. But so far, so good. Her eye has opened up. Last night or yesterday, day before. Yeah, yesterday, she was just meowing. And I looked at her eye, and it's a little bit inflamed, and she could barely open it all the way. And then this morning, today, she's running around the apartment, just knocking things down and playing and having a good time. And she's doing great. My sweet little Nova cat. Yeah, I like her. She's cool. Today was low key for us. I got a washer and dryer. I had to move down here by myself, and the vent is too short and it will not fit over the dryer and the wall, between the dryer and the wall. So I have to get maintenance in here to look at that. Listen, my life is not exciting. It's just a lot of me being alone and cooking and stuff and playing video games and hanging out with this cat. Oh, I finished South Park Stick of Truth. I played that game years and years ago when it came out. And actually when it came out on 360, I played, I want to say, the first three and... No. I played up until the alien spaceship. And then, so I remembered everything, but like I have this crazy encyclopedic memory of movies and video games and things. And I played Jimmy Christmas, and I played up until the spaceship part, which is like, I don't know, 2 some odd hours in there. And oh, look at me, I'm getting in. Oh, just an email. Thought it was a text. No one cares. I played until a certain point, so I knocked it out, and that was fun. And then I played Fractured But Whole, the sequel to Stick of Truth, when it came out originally. And I played about 3.5 hours of that. And I tried to just hop back in because I didn't want to play 3.5 hours of a video game again, even though I didn't, really care. And I didn't know how to fight because there's a different fighting system. And I just said, all right, I got to restart this game. So now I had to restart that game. Same thing happened with Persona 5. Not Royale, which is the upgraded version of the game, which I also own. I own both versions of Persona 5. No big deal. I played, I think I played like a couple hours of that. And then for some reason it didn't save on the PS4, and which is an issue I have with a lot of games. But it just didn't save. And so I had to replay it, I think like twice, not the entire game, but I think I had to replay like the opening like a couple of times. And then the same thing happened for Dragon Quest 11 Definitive Edition on the Switch. I played the demo. They had a demo that lasts, I think, like 11 hours out of like a 150-hour game. And I played like a couple hours of that, and then I guess I don't know how to save in the demo, even though it tells you how to save, because you have to go to certain points to save. And I just kept restarting it, and I promise you, I played almost 10 times. And then I eventually bought the game by accident when I meant to buy Pokemon, and and then and the demo save transfers over, but it was. You can play the game in 2D or 3D, and I reloaded the game in 2D, but I didn't have the 3D save, so I had to restart from like 3 hours prior to where I was in. So it's really exciting. It's super exciting. What else did I do? Oh, Never Not Funny had, I didn't want to know if I wanted to mention this, but Never Not Funny had a live stream today, and I watched. That was pretty much it. Truly, nothing going on in my life. Nothing exciting, nothing fun. Okay. Well, it seems like it's enough. We're at 12:42. I just gave up halfway through. All right, so listen. Spanish Aquí Presents. Great people, Raiza Licea, Tony Rodríguez, Carlos Santos, and Oscar Montoya. I love that name, Oscar Montoya. Oh my gosh. All very funny people, all very funny actors, and we get into it. We talk about some serious stuff. Watch the full interview, watch the full video, and then also, just watch the next 15 minutes. Watch the next 15 minutes, and you'll understand. It's the same thing. It's the same video. I just cut out a bunch of stuff. Thank you for watching. If you like what you heard here, remember you can always head to the website, cpluscomedy.com, to see more interviews like the Spanish Aquí Presents one. I believe tomorrow, or today by the time you listen to this, I will have up Johnny Brennan from the Jerky Boys. The embargo was up Friday, and then I was like, I'm not doing anything Friday. So, yeah. Okay. YouTube, cpluscomedy.com for more interviews. Then if you want to see a video version of the show, youtube.com/cpluscomedy. We can see my mug. And then also on youtube.com/cpluscomedy is our premiere show, News Time, which is a news magazine, entertainment, business style show. The Daily Show, but less funny, also with a comedy story. With a story about something comedy related. I don't know what last week's episode was about, so you'll have to look it up yourself. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, @CPlusComedy. Rate, review, subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you for listening. And I'm going to play the Going to Break song because that's where we're going to a break, and then you'll see the video. All right. Or, if you'll see the video, if you're watching the video, and if you're listening to the podcast, you'll hear the whole interview. Okay, that's it. I'm leaving. Goodbye. I don't want to shit on Big Bang Theory, but they're not Young Sheldon or Big Bang Theory or Mom. They're not that.
You can. I'm
just
kidding.
Tony's a huge Young Sheldon fan. So
Look, Kaylee Cuoco. Nobody knew.
Cuoco.
How do you say it? Oh, whatever. Mira, whatever. I look.
Well, no, seriously, thank you for sitting down, talking to me. This is great because I'd heard, I listened to a bunch of Earwolf podcasts, so I'd heard all of the commercials when you guys were coming to the network, and they annoyed me so much that I had to.
Yes, good, good, it works.
Carlos.
It is. Oh, it's the bane of my existence, that first commercial.
Well, it confirmed what we all were thinking.
Wow.
But I want to get back to your work within the Latinx community, because that's such an important aspect. I think what we're missing here in the current climate with, police involved shootings of Black people, I think that we're also forgetting that a lot of these issues aren't just black and white. I think it comes, it's Asian, Latinx, Indian. It's just, there's so many different things out there. And Spanish Aquí Presents, I'd never seen the live show until this week when I was looking up your YouTube channel, and I watched the Natalie Morales one, and I didn't know how different it was from the podcast. It was a presentation of a showcase of talent from people from your community, and it was brilliant and lovely, and it felt like it was a moving experience as I was watching it. And so I just think that whether you're volunteering in the community or giving people who never had a leg up, I think that's a lovely sentiment.
Thank you.
That's very nice.
That's so nice.
Can we take that as a blurb from you?
Yeah, go ahead. Feel free to use it.
I think Raiza can definitely take this, because I think this was from the get-go. This is kind of what we wanted to do at UCB, and because there was a void. And I'm not even, Raiza, take it away.
That's why we did this. Like I was on, if you are familiar with UCB, I was on a Herald team. It was for a year. I got cut. The notes I was given were the most vague thing ever. And I was just like, I had gotten so many people that were like, oh, it's so nice to see someone that talks like me or that looks like me or that, can talk about their abuela, or, you had a blackout in Spanish. Like, I've never seen that in my fucking life. Like, and I've been coming to Herald's every Monday for whatever years, and, just like hardcore comedy people. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I'm here just like having fun and like obviously nervous, in the back line every Monday or Friday that I had a show. But then, I got cut. I had my sad girl month, whatever. And then I just was like, wait a minute, I had submitted for this show with Carlos, Tony, and Oscar, like before I even got cut. And then I was like, oh no, fuck this. Like, what the hell? We didn't get response. I'm not on a stage right now, like representing any of our people. Like there's barely like Los Angeles has like, I think 43 or 45% Latinx. And I was like, how the fuck? Like, I know there's comedians out here that look like us and that are doing what we're doing in an indie level or whatever, And so like when we met up, and we finally got a meeting or whatever, and we like got our date to have the first show. Like I made we all made sure like we talked, we were really open with each other and just kind of like, okay, like, yeah, sure. Like I want to get celebrities out here for sure, because that's something that we're gonna, the Latino community is gonna come out for us, because they're down to like support our things, And then it was like, but it's not only about them. Like we do want to put those people that came up to us after a show. Like, there's people that, have come up to all of us for different shows and just like express like just happiness and like joy, honestly, just like by seeing us on stage. And also like, it just proves that there was a need in the community, because the show sold out. We didn't promote it. I had something personal that came up and I had to fly to Miami. And then like, we didn't really promote or post or anything literally till like a week before.
And we had shows in the past. Just it's important for everybody to know that we were on a different team that was like and it was all Spanish improv, and we were given some weird slots, and you can say whatever you want, but we were really not prepared for the 100% showing up of the entire, like we sold out and consistently sold out in a way that we weren't ready for it, which is an amazing and beautiful thing. Like that weekend, I just could not sleep just thinking about it. Besito, which also didn't help, but like the adrenaline alone, that first show was so amazing, and I don't, and I didn't see it coming, and then it was like so beautiful.
When UCB shut down the New York stages, I immediately had an interview with our local improv organization here, and they're not for profit, so they get their money via the community, and those people were just so they had negative things to say about UCB and like how you can't make money off of that or like be sustainable from that. And so hearing their side and then also your side as well is really solidifying that UCB and Chicago IO, now that it's closed down, and those other ones was the other improv places, they're doing comedy in a way that's not sustainable, that doesn't work. And when you exclude parts of the community and you say that comedy is 7 white guys all wearing the same polo shirts,
flannel.
Flannel. You're not doing.
Sorry, Carlos.
No offense, Carlos. No offense.
Sorry, Carlos.
So baby.
You're not doing anything. So it's
comedy interview. Give me a flannel.
And I can't wear a flannel because then I go on stage wearing a flannel and I get immediately called a chola. So it's like the opposite. Like literally, I wore it one day and like 3 people made a comment. I was like, "Fuck you guys!" Like what? It's like I'm not whatever.
Yeah, but I also think the comedy spaces are honestly a reflection of the bigger picture of Hollywood at large. It's not it's not much different there either. There's no precedent set in place for white Hollywood or mainstream Hollywood to look out for BIPOC. Like there's no reason for it. It's survived this long, and what's happening slowly, but what's happening, period, is that Black spaces, white, Asian spaces, like South Asian spaces, disabled spaces, are pushing aside these mainstream spaces and forcing their way in, and we're just a representation of that. Like we literally had to force our way in because they weren't listening to us,
They don't want us.
It's
okay.
That's where I know Tony and Carlos, you guys are on Gentefied, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yes.
And Oscar, are you on Gentefied as well? I don't think Blaze is on. Okay.
I'm definitely not.
Maybe the second season.
Look, we pitched it to them. We had them at a show, and we did a little intro bit where we like all auditioned. And that was a very fun bit to do. But it's a great show. Carlitos is in it, and Tony has a really fun role. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like it just goes back to like that's your shoehorning your way in there with this type of show. That show was missing not only from just streaming, but also not Kate. Well, I wouldn't say Kate, except for Vita. Vita was there too.
Yeah.
Shows like Vita and Gentefied. And One Day at a Time, and it just it sucks that they have to be segmented and spread out so far, but they're coming. And they're coming strong, and they're good shows. They're not like, I don't want to shit on Big Bang Theory, but they're not Young Sheldon or Big Bang Theory or
right.
They're not that.
You can. I'm just kidding.
Tony's a huge Young Sheldon fan.
Look, Kaylee Cuoco. Nobody knew.
Cuoco?
How do you say it? Oh, whatever. Mira, whatever.
Say it in Miami, though.
Okay, look, Chad.
Kaylee Cuoco esa.
Kaylee Cuoco. Mira, I can't say people's names, and it's fine because nobody can say my name. So I'm like, it works out for me.
We're even.
It's fine. No, but like, I remember she was like always number 1 on IMDb. Someone told me this, and I never knew who she was. Like for years. And then like I was like, oh my God, like she's a white girl on Big Bang Theory, and like that show's not great. Like what? Like there's so many other like POC people that should be so much higher. I don't know. I mean, not to shit on her, but like specifically, but I don't know. I just was like, yeah, there's so many other better Black and brown shows out there that need
well,
to
it's
be.
like it's not that it's a bad show. It just doesn't speak to us as an audience at all.
Yeah.
And I think we've like lived our entire lives sort of catering to white audiences, like forcing ourselves to look at ourselves in an all-white cast. You know, like for example, you know, like I would watch a TV show and be like, oh, this guy with the glasses is me, and it's a white dude with glasses. It's like, oh, that's the sort of diversity that I grew up watching on TV. You know what I mean? Like it's now that's changing. Now there's more variety where I can be like, oh my gosh, look at the scope of the people that are being represented on TV. Look at these families that I'm getting to see, you know, one day at a time in Gentefied, like dysfunctional families, not stereotypical, right? Three-dimensional, worthy of storylines, story arcs even. Can you imagine? More than one episode dedicated to a person of color? Unbelievable. You know? And that's special. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's true.
And we've had guests from all those Latinx shows that you mentioned. And I feel like a common thread that's come up is like that we, of course, are fans of all of them. And as you said, they are actually very, very good shows. But the showrunners and the stars of those other shows are also fans of the other Latinx shows. And I feel like the Hollywood story is that like this show has to be representative of, you know, so and like and of course we've said it before, the Latinx experience, as we're noticing with this election, is so diverse. Like it's not the monolithic.
Well said, Tony. Well said.
I mean, get onto the Cuban voters. But like there can be multiple stories.
Don't get me started.
Oh my God.
The resident Cubans from the group are not having it.
What should we kind of touched on this a little bit. What should white listeners get out of the show? Because I feel that from both watching the live show and from listening to the podcast, I feel my concern is that going to UCB, in particular for the live show, and doing that show and then saying, hey, we need a one-word suggestion, and someone goes, tacos, like that would piss me off to no end. But then also, you know, asking the dumbest, like if you guys ever did listener questions for the podcast, you know, if someone asks a stupid question, that would just, you know, make me not uncomfortable, but, you know, just not make things better. So what should white listeners learn from being a part of the Spanish Aquí audience?
This is something that we've done from the get-go, even when we were with Provisos Peligrosos. We took all these moments and we kind of held the audience accountable for their actions for the most part. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think every time that something happened, we kind of called it out to kind of make it known that it wasn't okay. I think that kind of transfers over to the podcast in the way that we treat everything from our point of view. I think that's
I think like we do. Look, you're going to learn about the Latinx culture inevitably just listening to any episode, even the episodes that, you know, we just recorded a couple that will be coming out in a couple weeks, and it was just like us just talking. But like you're listening to 4 Latinxers talk about their experience, and you're going to learn something. Like we're gonna, without trying to educate you, it's gonna happen. I
was listening to the Amy Carrero episode, and she's a princess. She's a Disney princess. No one includes her inside of the Disney princess verse, and they barely want to include Princess Tiana, and same thing for Mulan. Like it's so stupid. Like imagine the entire world. Imagine how many people are fans of Disney, and then imagine how many of those people are racist. Like just.
Also, she couldn't even get a movie. She gets a TV show, which thank you. I mean, super like duper like appreciated. A bunch of seasons, great. Like I love it. Like I love that like little kids are watching this. But also like, give us a fucking Disney fucking princess. Like Coco was like this huge thing. You guys saw what the Latinx community came, like we come out, Black people, Asians, like Latinx people, like we come out, like make money off of us, but put us on, like just put us on and give us some money too.
Well, guys, I feel like I've taken so much of your time. And I really do appreciate it. Thank you. This has been truly amazing.
This is great.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Chad.
All right, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Guys.
Bye.